Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line. New man moves in so fine. Kirk Cousins. Woo!
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
5 times 5. Can you dig it? Sucker! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer. What happened, that dynamic duo that's Let's Talk Football? I'm sorry. I just watched my man Booker T on Biography, and I wish I could spin a Rooney on here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it. Woo! Let's get it. Let's go.
I gotta watch that. That actually sounds fun. I had no idea he had a documentary, but now I gotta watch that.
It is hot. What's going on? You know what it is. Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. I am here with the host of Diversity with Delilah.
Hey, woo!
With my man, Mr. I Want the Smoke, Nicholas Rosario.
It's starting to get a little cloudy in here. We better clear this up. It's starting to get a little cloudy up in here. Smoke is coming.
The smoke was in the green room.
That's right. It's coming, baby.
Let's go. We have so much to talk about. We know y'all heard about it. Tebow got signed. NFL schedule's out. Washington making moves like lasagna, just slow, just chilling, making it happen.
Yes,
I can't wait, baby. I can't wait. But first and foremost, let me sit here and take a minute and say thank you, and I appreciate you, the fans. But let me appreciate the two people that we have in these two windows. If you saw the last time we were on here, is because we were in Chicago at my buddies. Did the live draft event. It was a success. 4 hours.
Yes, 4 hours, yes.
4 hours.
4 hours.
Live in Chicago. We did the whole first round of the draft. Technical difficulties. Drinking happened. Shots happened.
Sure.
We almost had heart attack.
Right.
So are we all calm? Are we all back down to earth now?
Oh,
you got
absolutely.
Justin Fields.
We're fantastic.
We're good. We're good.
We had mini rookie camp this past weekend. We were good. We're good.
Okay.
I like where we're going. I like it.
I liked it. Yeah, our rookies look fun. They're actually having a good time. Like, they're bonding. Hopefully that translates, into the preseason, and we get to keep
just
a
some
few
football
of them.
field action, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about one of your guys came from Chapel Hill, and Delilah. He's already not comfortable in Chicago, man. He don't have that stuff that they have on the East Coast in the South. Mr. Daz Newsome, what's up with that?
No, but he was like, he just couldn't believe that there were no Waffle Houses in Chicago. He's enjoying himself here, but he was just shocked that wasn't a thing. I was like, well, we got Denny's, we got IHOP, we got Nugget if you want to go a little bit more local.
Right.
You got IHOP. You can go to IHOP.
No, I think it more like,
more Tutti Fresh and Fruity or something.
But IHOPs are kind of more national. I'm thinking like Golden Nugget isn't one of those franchises that are everywhere.
Yeah. He doesn't have a Mr. Bojangles, okay? He doesn't
have
he don't.
He doesn't have a Crow. Right. The old stores. He don't have that stuff in the West. So, Daz, I understand. Chicago will take care of you. Okay, they will take care of you. But I get you, brother. I get you. Maybe when I come out to Chicago, I'll bring you some stuff from the Carolinas.
Daz will be fine. Introduce him to Portillo's and some Giordano's, and I think Daz will be just fine when he's in Chicago.
We'll get you going.
Get him at Ellie's Pancake House. He'll be good. Yes. Don't worry about it.
We got you.
He'll be fine.
We will find some good pancakes and waffles, okay? Because the Waffle House, we'll get you some good waffles over here.
Right.
But Daz, you already see. Hey, talk to these two people. Delilah,
we'll get you some chicken and waffles. Some of the in the country, we will take you to Harold's Chicken and Waffles if you really want some good waffles.
Let's go.
I just had some last week at a place called Savannah. They're fantastic. 2 big fried chicken breasts with waffles and some spicy syrup. Oh my goodness!
We got you.
Go to Savannah, Daz. You'll love it.
hold up, man. We just turned into Let's Talk Good Food. Hold up. We're not doing that. Look, we're going back to football, baby.
Right.
We're going back to
football.
And fed. We want to keep our rookies happy and fed,
That's right.
Yes, I'm most certainly with that. Yo, so we have to shout out our birthdays. I did this on Wednesday. I want to bring it back out. Happy birthday to our girl, Green Bay's own Wendy Herring.
Happy birthday, Wendy.
Happy birthday, Wendy. Don't be mad at me, girl.
Happy birthday.
Don't be mad at me.
And she is here with us. Go Pack Go.
Oh,
Happy
well.
birthday to you, Wendy.
There she goes.
We'll see how you feel
Wendy.
later on in the show. But
Right.
Wendy.
Yo, and also want to send a shout out to our main man, the number one karaoke in Chicago.
That's right.
My man Norm. What's up, Norm?
Happy birthday, Norm.
We can't morning because it's not midnight, but still.
That's right. Good morning.
Happy birthday, Norm.
That's right, Norm. Happy birthday, buddy. You're a boy, Blue. You're my boy.
Yeah, you're my boy, Blue. So shout him out. Definitely hope you guys both had an amazing birthday.
Yes, absolutely.
And as we also do at the beginning of the show, we talk about the joys with also some of the sadder moments. And we do want to send our condolences to first the family of Colt Brennan, who had just recently passed, and the family of Tariq Cohen. And his twin brother Tyrell Cohen passed. Not to go too deep into it.
Condolences.
Condolences. They struggled after the league, which happens to a lot of players. But Colt Brennan was 37. I'm 37. That's just
it's sad. Very sad. Died way too young, and Tariq's brother was only 25.
Yeah.
So,
oh God.
Yeah. Real horrible. Way too young. Mile behind sitting there at 48, going, wow. It makes you think about stuff. It really does. How grateful you are to get another day. You just never know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Way too young.
Wendy, if that's you, I hope they're not Aaron Rodgers Packer shirts.
Wow.
Yo, you got that for your birthday? Hey, Wendy, do you need some burgundy and gold? I'm going to send you something. Come on, Wendy.
Right, you want a Bears jersey, Wendy? Come on down to Chicago. We'll take care of you, girl.
My God.
Can I get you a Justin Fields #1 jersey? You want that, Wendy?
Nikki's already bringing the smoke, and we're like,
come on, Wendy.
Top of the show.
Come to the dark side, Wendy. Come to the dark side, baby. Come on.
And actually,
condolences to both of those players. I'm sorry.
Condolences to them. And actually, I want to throw one more name in there. Actually, a friend of my fiance and her sister, Stephanie Mullen, passed on as well.
This. Terrible, yeah.
It's getting close to home, guys. It's really getting close to home. That's why we have to take these moments and just appreciate each other, appreciate what we have right now, because you never know, and it's upsetting, but
it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we are not going to stay here. We are going to go back up to positive. We're here. Let's talk football. The Roundtable, talking football, talking Washington, no name, talking Chicago Bears, three quarterbacks. We got a whole bunch to tell you about, but the number one bit of news that rocked the entire league this past week is a man who's been out of the league, went to play baseball. He was then in the SEC on the college game day stuff.
Oh, sure. He did all the ESPN stuff. He was a commentator.
And we thought he was fine. We thought he was fine off the field. Well, apparently his old coach came back, so he's back. Tim Tebow gets signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
As a tight end. He's not playing quarterback. I just want to throw that out there.
So now, Delilah, they sat there, like when he was playing before, they said, you can stay if you're a tight end. And he said, I'm not going to do that. And he moved on. Why all of a sudden now are you going to come back and be a tight end? Like what? Come on now. I
mean, from what I've read, Urban Meyer is the one that kind of reached out, right? And kind of started that whole process, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he exactly did that, but it's my understanding that the process started from the coach.
Yeah.
Do they have I don't know. Do they have a pass together? I'm not sure. Do they?
So Urban Meyer.
Because I wasn't sure, but that's where it came
from. He used to be the coach at Florida, and Tim Tebow was his guy. They won 2 national championships together. They have a close relationship.
That makes sense.
But still, the man has been out the league for what, 4 or 5 years? You know what I mean? Like, I understand Tom Brady.
It's more like 8, brother.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying.
2013 or something. 2013, I think.
Something like that.
Look,
they signed them for a year, right? It's not even like Yeah.
Well,
but Nick, is this a locker room situation? Is this I need to bring in a rah-rah guy so that he'll help us? Like, what is this?
Well, I don't know that I'm going to blow anybody's mind with what I'm about to say, but I'm just going to say
Go for it.
that I actually think this is more of a publicity stunt in a way. How often do we talk about Jacksonville in any kind of positive context?
I mean, that's true.
I understand they drafted Trevor Lawrence,
right?
Travis Etienne. So yeah, there's some interest there. But all last week, watch any ESPN show or any sports show, and they were talking about Jacksonville and Tim Tebow. Now, there's a good chance, let's be honest, there's a good chance he's not on the opening day roster. You only get 53 men on a football roster. But you do bring Tim in. It gets people talking. Tim obviously has played in the NFL. He's played under Urban Meyer. Yes, he can help these young kids. He could probably help Trevor Lawrence. He could probably help Travis Etienne.
Another connection with Trevor Lawrence and Tim Tebow is they're both Christian men. Like if you follow Trevor Lawrence has been all about I'm saved. He went to right. So he's been very vocal about him being a Christian man and following kind of his Christian ideals, and that's what he was going to bring with him to the NFL. That was kind of his clean living, right? While he was in college, all of that has to do with his religion, and we know that that's very important for Tim Tebow as well. So. It could be one of those things as well. Maybe they see like we don't really have a mentor for this kid, right? Who's coming in even if Tim was gone for 8 years, right? I know, but maybe they felt like maybe they would have a bonding situation. Like maybe Tim could mentor this kid about how things are and how nasty the NFL could be, right? How brutal it could be, how hard. I mean, and that. You really have to prove yourself because look at me, they thought I was a dude, and now I'm playing tight end, right? Like, so I mean, it could be that. It could definitely be one of those publicity stunts, like, Nick was saying. But in this situation, I feel like Urban Meyer coming in, right? New coach, kind of new idea, new heading. I feel like he's the one. He 100% started this process. And in my mind, I'm thinking that's probably what he was thinking. Maybe even if he's playing tight end, he felt like maybe this is someone that this kid could look up to. He's not a party guy, right? Like I was saying, Tim is not a party guy either, right? He's not
moral support, right?
And so maybe they felt like this is something that they could have in common. Another quarterback that's very similar is Russell Wilson, but he's playing for Seattle, right? So it's like, so there are players that have like kind of this kind of moral idea of how to be, and and so maybe this could be another reason too. Like he felt like this is someone that this kid could look up to, that will actually listen to, right? Like, hey, we have things in common, but so I don't know. We'll see how he is at tight end.
We're gonna see, but Nick, and I agree with that, and I agree with what you guys are saying, that publicity stunt, something to help the young kid. I get all that, but Nick, you mentioned it a minute ago. 8 years away. I've brought this name up multiple times. Colin Kaepernick, who's been away 5 years. We can see he can still play quarterback. Tim Tebow came back, and we always even when he was playing, they questioned him being quarterback. So and not only with Tim Tebow, but then you have the guy for the Cowboys, Aldon Smith, that had been out for 5 years. You can't tell me right now that Colin Kaepernick can't at least get a tryout or something. I know he got one before, but like a legit tryout. Like this guy is better than some of these quarterbacks now.
Do you want to know why? I mean, why I think this? Of course, disclaimer right here. This is entirely my opinion, but I'm going to give you my opinion as to why Colin Kaepernick will probably never get back into the NFL, because every team in the league knows or is under the impression that no matter what you do, Colin Kaepernick will always be associated with what happened. And also, that means the NFL was wrong in handling him the way that they did during that time. And the NFL will not admit that they're wrong in the way they handled Colin Kaepernick. And now you've got 32 teams who will avoid him at all costs, regardless of, like you said, he can still play. He's still a young man. I think he'd still be great in the league. And there's always a team who needs a quarterback. But unfortunately, when he stood up for what he believed in, and he was right to do that. And I agree with him. There was, he had, but the NFL got, egg on its face when the way they handled it. And they're not willing to admit that they were wrong, because look at it now. Now they're involved in all this. Now everything's social justice. We're going to do this. We're going to help with this. We're going to do that. Okay, well, where was that 5 years ago when he was telling you about all that?
Right.
You didn't want to hear it then, and now you're all about it. So it's about saving face with the NFL. They don't want Colin Kaepernick back, and unfortunately, because of that, he's not going to be back. And here's the thing too, and I understand people are upset about the Tebow thing, and I understand why. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? You can't be mad at Tim personally. This was an opportunity for him to get back in football, and that's what he always wanted. He went and played baseball fine, but he always wanted to be back on the football field. You can criticize him for not wanting to play tight end before or move to receiver like they had asked him previously.
But not for the opportunity.
But somebody asked him, gave him an opportunity to come back, and he took it. So for that, you can't be mad at him because, but I just don't think Kaepernick will be offered the same opportunity for the reasons I just noted. So unfortunately, and I agree, it is unfortunate because I believe the guy still could make a difference and still play in the NFL, but he's just never going to get that chance. And that's very sad.
And you make a very valid point. And I'm not going to stick on this that much longer, but you're absolutely right. And at the end of the day, it's what you said. Urban Meyer gave Tim Tebow a chance. Right. He got an opportunity. Somebody has to stick their neck out like he did, because that's definitely sticking your neck out.
That's sticking your neck out, my friend. Exactly, right.
Exactly. So he's going to it's going to take something like that to get a Colin Kaepernick back in here. But while we have Wendy on here, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. And we're going to talk about the Packers. They signed Blake Bortles.
He asked us a question. That's why.
They signed Blake Bortles. They signed Kurt Benkert.
Yes.
And those are the two T-shirts she bought. No, I'm kidding.
Right. So what, how are we feeling? What does this mean about Aaron Rodgers? You sign these guys.
Yeah. We actually don't know if he's being traded, because I see that, I saw the comment. I'm getting confused about Aaron Rodgers' situation. Is he staying or being traded? They're not handling this at all very well. We both, honestly, I think that Green Bay leadership and Aaron are actually handling this awful. They're just, because everything is hearsay, right? Packers girl, the T-shirt.
Packers girl. Okay.
So that's the shirt she was talking about.
That was just a straight up Green Bay.
Oh, just a straight up Green Bay shirt. Okay.
Nice, Wendy.
So we actually don't know. We actually don't know what the situation is. Aaron Rodgers, by the way, is over in Hollywood. He's going to be on the Connors, apparently. On an episode of the Connors. He was on Jeopardy. So he's not even thinking about football right now, guys. I don't even know. But they're both handling this really badly, because everything is coming through rumors. Everything is coming out through circumstance. Things are being tweeted. There is not anything that has been handled in this situation that makes anything comfortable. First of all, I'm thinking about Jordan Love, right? He got drafted last year behind Aaron Rodgers. And honestly, we should be thinking about this kid who's supposed to be at least learning from this older, quarterback. Right. And he's, doing whatever and stuff. And he's kind of stuck there. Then they bring in Blake Bortles. And my assumption is probably because that kid needs a mentor from someone, even if it is Blake Bortles. Whatever you may think about Blake Bortles, Jordan Love needs someone there, right? As at quarterback, someone who's been in the NFL, who's played the game, to actually get him mentally, at least, even if, whatever, everything else, but at least mentally prepared for what that means to be out in that field, right? And playing, for 17 weeks now, because now it's 17 games, right? It's not 16 anymore, right? So what does that look like mentally? What do you have to do to prepare to go out there? Because right now he doesn't have that, right? He doesn't have that. And now behind him, they drafted another quarterback and they signed him. They took a photo and everything of him signing his contract. He's happy, smiling, thank you for the chance. So we don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Now, my guess is he probably will play, or if you pay attention to the numbers from all of these sports analysts, no major trades can happen until June 1st or after. Yep. Because of salary cap situations. If anyone gets traded before that June 1st deadline, they have to eat a larger chunk of whatever that was left. Mm-hmm. But after June 1st, however, the trade deficit is a lot smaller, and they don't end up eating a lot of these contracts. So does that mean they're gonna wait to June 1st? I don't know, but honestly, I feel like Green Bay or Aaron Rodgers himself could be a grown man and stand up in front of people, stand up Green Bay and talk to you guys, because you know, you're owners of a Green Bay, right? You guys have, you guys have ownership on that team. Don't you think your quarterback should be out there talking to you guys about what's going on? Or at least the owners should be out there and actually talking to you and telling you what the situation is, who your quarterback is going to be. But we actually have no idea, because right now they're holding that close to the vest. However, signing all these quarterbacks, that doesn't bode well.
Right. And Nick, like, honestly, like Delilah alluded to, I mean, he's in California right now. He's doing Jeopardy. He's, doing these other shows. He's not sweating. At least not. It doesn't appear, unless he has a good poker face. He ain't really caring about it. We've heard about right now, and we've heard about that there's potential for him to go to the West Coast, and Denver is one of those top teams. Like,
yes,
Nick, realistically, what are the real chances of this man actually moving on? Is this hype? Is this Brett Favre-esque, where he's just keeping his name in the spotlight?
Well, here's the thing, and again, you look at history, you look at how these things have unfolded before with this sort of thing,
right?
And let's be really honest about something. If this was Ryan Fitzpatrick per se, the backers would tell him, "Well, fine, go take a walk. We'll trade you and get out of here."
Exactly.
It's only because it's Aaron Rodgers and he's a bad man, like Stephen A. Smith likes to say, and that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, that you're even going through this. Let's be honest. Any other team would have traded the quarterback by now and said, "Fine, you're gone. True. Don't need it." But here's the thing: we all have to remember, they're both at fault here, and I'll tell you why.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
When this whole thing started, when they drafted Jordan Love, I'm guaranteeing you, all the team had to do at that point was to tell Aaron beforehand, "Look, we're thinking about bringing a kid in. We know you're still the quarterback. You've got 4 or 5 years, whatever. We'll bring this kid as a backup. Teach him what you know. Blah 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 blah." But when you do, because again, it's not that Aaron necessarily deserved that as a player, because again, you're signed by a team, you play for the team, you're under contract. That's what you do. Okay, that's part of being the player. That's part of the player-owner relationship. You generally do what the owner tells you, right? They pay you, you play. That's how this works.
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, it would have been a courteous thing to say, "Hey, Aaron, this is what's going on. No need to panic. This is just a move we're making." You know what I mean? But they didn't. And then they moved up even into the first round to trade for Jordan, or, in a trade to get Jordan Love. So it does look rather suspicious to Aaron going, "Well, wait a minute. You moved up to draft a quarterback when you knew we needed other weapons on our team? Like, what are you doing?" So Aaron goes, "Well, you know what? Fine. I will play this year, and I will show you how great I am and show you why you made a mistake by drafting this kid." But then he pulled a 5-year-old move, though, and is now trying to take his ball and go home and cry about it. And it's like, you know what, Aaron? If I don't feel sorry for you, I'm sorry. Like, you're a grown man. This is a business too. And you played an entire year, didn't say a word, and then you just started leaking stuff through whoever, crying about this and that and blah, blah, blah. And now you won't say a word. People, everybody else is saying what supposedly you're trying to do, and calling him Jerry Krause from the Bulls in a group text saying the owner's trying to, remember, the owner's trying to break us up. And then, he's like, "I'll come back if you fire the GM," which none of this anybody has necessarily heard Aaron Rodgers say personally. This is all hearsay until up to this point. So the fact that you remain quiet, though, and you're saying nothing, that speaks volumes too, my friend. If I were Green Bay, honestly, if I were Green Bay at this point, and I know Wendy's not going to want to hear this, Green Bay Packer fans are not going to want to hear this, but if I'm the owner, I trade him.
June
I
1st.
say, you know what, man? I'm going to get as much as I can for you. Whatever teams want to offer me, I'm going to take. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get whatever I can. Because honestly, if you really don't want to be here, Aaron, then we don't want you here. And that's with anybody. I would say the same thing about Justin Fields. If Justin Fields said, "I don't really want to be here," well, then, Justin, why do I want you? If you don't want to be here, you're not going to play for me. You're not going to do the things I need you to do. So you're not going to be here.
Now, the other side of that, though, is it wouldn't be that easy to say if you've had the Super Bowl, if you've play, if you had him play for you, so if he is one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in the league, it's a little harder to be like, hey, get out of here, because Green Bay is like, what can we do to get you back? And Aaron's sitting here like,
I don't know, but they're not
Right.
really, because that's the whole thing. Like, I don't really see Green Bay, and that's what I'm saying. I don't see any release where they're like, oh, Aaron, right? I don't see anything in that from the Green Bay management. I don't see the GM coming out saying, all they said was, he's our quarterback, right? Or when he first started this whole whatever leaking that he's doing, which is like very diva-ish. I agree with Nathan. He started leaking stuff through Adam, and then everybody started hating Adam Schefter like it's his fault that they're telling him this crap, right? It's like, don't blame the source. He's just repeating what he's getting. Like,
and let's be honest, go along. And again, this is not going to be a popular thing in Green Bay for me to say, but maybe, Aaron Rodgers in NFC Championship games is what, 1-4, guys?
Yep.
1-4.
1-3, 1-4.
Yes.
1-4. Yeah.
That's not great. I mean, yes, getting there is an accomplishment. And yes, of course, you're one of the 2 best teams in the NFC because you're in the championship game. But he hasn't won the big one. He's won 1 Super Bowl, we know, and he's got it. That's fine. He's won a Super Bowl, but he's lost 4 other championship games. If you're looking at guys who produce on a big scale, yes, he's a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's not. But when it comes to winning the big one,
no one takes that away.
He hasn't.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's
and
maybe Green Bay's just getting a little tired. Like, okay, fine, you want to be a diva, but you're also 1-4 in championship games, my friend. And if we are gonna rebuild, maybe now is the time.
Right. He didn't want to restructure, right? That was the first thing that came up. He wanted his money. And I said, hey, guess who restructured his contract? Tom Brady. Who else restructured his contract? Big Ben, who he has a history of like not giving my money. But even he was like, you know what? I'm aging. They're gonna trade my ass if I don't do this.
Get rid of me.
Yes.
Right?
Right. So exactly. We're gonna get rid of your ass.
You know what? Fine. Let me restructure. Right. And so that's where it kind of started though. Like, and then all this other stuff happened. And then all I'm saying is both sides, just like I said, handled it wrong. And someone should actually be man enough, whatever, and just talk to your fan base.
Right.
Because no one else in the NFC cares about what's happening in Green Bay. Sorry, it makes us kind of over here going,
I'm sucking my ass off. I don't care.
Hey, everybody else in the league is like.
However, in a football though scenario, like they should talk to you guys as a fan, because that's what I would want. If I'm like, I'd be like, come and talk to me and tell me what is going on. Is he going to be my quarterback or not? Or do I really have to wait 3 weeks until June 1st to find out? Is he going to Denver? What is going on? And
but the thing is, again,
that's the one that leaked the most. That's the one that leaked the most.
But like Brett Favre, with him holding out until this point,
it
guarantees that he's going to be in the media. He's going to be in the news.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody's going to talk about him. Even more than the whole Tebow thing. So.
How do you feel, Green Bay fans? Like, it's not about me and Nick and Sean. We don't care that too much.
We're your competition.
We care. We care in a football sense that we like football. We like the game. We've said, all of us have said, we understand how good of a quarterback Aaron Rodgers is. We've never taken that away. However, this whole situation is messy. How do you feel? What would you want? I mean, Jordan Love, from what I hear, the reason he was drafted, is a good prospect. And your organization, and I say that as a Bears fan, has a really good history of getting quarterbacks ready.
Yeah.
Right? You have Brett Favre, who threw a fit too before he got traded, and Aaron started. And then Aaron took the team again. And now Jordan is the next one, guys. He is your next guy.
Remember, the Packers drafted Kurt Warner.
I mean, that's what they're saying. Or maybe this kid.
Packers drafted Hasselbeck, and Hasselbeck had a good NFL career. Like, they've drafted quarterbacks over the years. They've always been successful with the quarterbacks they've drafted. Not necessarily in Green Bay, but these guys have moved on to other places and done other things. So, I mean,
I don't know. What do you guys want? What do you want to see, Green Bay fans? Wendy, what do you want to see?
Wendy, what do you want, darling?
Packer girl. What would you like to see happen
Wendy,
over
for your
in Green
birthday,
Bay?
we
Yes.
know all you want for
What
your
would
birthday
you
is
like?
Aaron Rodgers.
Is Aaron Rodgers back? Right.
Right. What would you
Number
like?
12
get it.
back in the fold or whatever.
Right.
Get it.
You know,
So real,
that's it, right? How do you
Yeah,
guys want it to play out? Let us
So-
know in the
so-
comments.
so yeah, definitely hit us up with that, Wendy. We're here for you, the support group.
We're here for
if he
you.
does
Right? We're here
leave.
for you, Wendy.
So real quick, Washington has been moving. Let me see what
Ooh.
she
Let's go.
says.
Ooh.
Wanted to stay with the Packers. Want him to stay with the Packers. Hey, hopefully. We'll see. Washington has been making a couple moves. We picked up the safety, ex-Dolphins safety, Bobby McCain.
Mhm. Yes,
we needed a safety.
We
And
needed some help back there, right?
Ex-Bears left tackle, Charles Leno. Is that his
Leno,
name?
Charles Leno.
Yeah.
Charles Leno.
Charles Leno. So
Yes.
at the very least, this is competition. At the very best, we have a left tackle. Like I've mentioned to you guys multiple times, it does kind of make me sit here and say,
I mean, I get it.
Starting for you guys for years, right, Delilah? So I don't.
But I think it also, I don't know if I would take it completely personally, because I think for once, my team actually wants to do something,
Mhm.
and we know that we needed, to kind of improve and update our O-line. It, wasn't good for the past. Jesus, I don't. So anyway. And this kid that we drafted is massive, and so I know he lost the spot to a rookie, which I know. Yeah. But at the same time, like Nick has said, during when we were preparing during the pre-show, this might be a good thing for him, though, right? It's a new system, a new team, fresh. We know Ron knows how to coach, so he actually might be a good left tackle at Washington. Right. So. This might actually be a good thing. Yeah, this might be a good thing.
Let's hope. But now, Nick, we just said, like we talked about with Justin Fields in Chicago, he's not going to come off the street and immediately be your starter. No. You know what I mean? He's not going to do that. So I get that you get a rookie in Tevin Jenkins, but is this guy Charles Leno? Is he really that expensible that you're just like, all right, well, we got another guy that we've never seen play.
As you know, our offensive line has been pretty bad the last few years.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie. When you watch Bears games every week, one of the problems was left tackle, covering the quarterback's blind side and that sort of thing. And Leno has had trouble.
I don't want that. I don't want him if he's not going to do good for y'all.
Leno did have some trouble, and that's the thing. Like, if you looked at film and you look at tape, a lot of times, guys were getting past him, especially the good, pass rushers, edge rushers in the NFL. They would always give Leno fits. And I don't know if it's the schemes. I don't know if it was just Leno doesn't have quite the talent as some of these other guys.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I hope that, I don't have any ill will towards Charles Leno. Our whole line was bad. You can't just blame him. It wasn't just him.
No.
So hopefully now he gets a chance to go to a different team. He gets a chance to start over. Again, he could work out well for you guys. It's only a 1-year deal. So you give him a look. And if you don't think he's worth anything, that's it. You got him 1 year, he can sit the bench, you pay him and he leaves. But I do think it's, left tackle is extremely, and this is why I say it's an extremely important position in the NFL because you only have 1 or 2 left-handed quarterbacks. So the left tackle is covering the blind side of a right-handed quarterback. Right. So that's one of the most important positions in football in protecting the quarterback. So everything is expected, from a left tackle. So I just think, again, depending on, your coach, I don't know all the coaches there in Washington like you do. So again, if you've got a good line coach, if you've got guys who are willing to work, Leno could become a great tackle for you guys. And, you'll be running around there, much better than what you guys were last year. Just saying.
Yeah. And hey, if he comes in and he does that, he's able to do that. That's absolutely great.
Who's your line coach? Is it who's your line coach?
Oh man, I don't know.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about your line coach? How about let's change that?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I feel like we've made a number of moves on the line. Yeah. We signed Sheriff back. Sadiq Charles comes back from injury. You know what I mean? We got Morgan Moses. We got what's his name? Lucas, I believe. We have a lineman. We signed another guy, I believe, from the Chargers. So we have linemen. This is good for competition. Let's see what 5 we can put out there and get. Because look, Fitz, he's a little mobile. He can move around a little bit, but he ain't he's still an old man here. Let's be very honest with that.
He's
we
not running a 4.4, so don't worry about it. Right?
No, he's not running a 4.7 like Mr. 40-year-old Michael Vick. Can we talk about that for a second? Good God.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So, if he can come in and be a benefit to the team, great. If not, well, you got $5 million for 1 year. So.
You got $5 million, Charles. Right, you're $5 million richer.
So definitely want to move on. NFL schedule is released on Wednesday. We will talk about that. But before we talk about that, the longest running segment on this show and my personal favorite, Diversity with Delilah. Let's go. Let's get it. And this week she is talking about, and this is somebody I learned about when I was a little kid reading football encyclopedia books. Yep. Little Sean was a big old nerd. I had huge football encyclopedia books dating back to the 1900s and everything, and the 1800s, things like that. So Fritz Pollard, I am so excited that you're bringing him up for Diversity with Delilah. So without further ado, Delilah, what you got?
Yeah, of course. So interesting thing is that he actually is born and raised in Chicago. So he is a Chicago native. He went to Lane Tech High School, which, that's kind of, awesome for me because I didn't live too far from that school. But anyway, at Lane Tech High School, he played football, baseball, and ran track. From Lane Tech, because Lane Tech has always been one of those top achieving schools, he got into Brown University. Not a surprise because, again, Lane Tech is one of our high schools, one of the top high schools in the city.
Yeah, it's public high schools.
And it always has been. And so he got into Brown University. Majoring in chemistry. He played halfback on that football team, went on to the 1916 Rose Bowl. He was the first Black football player at Brown. He also became one of the first Black running backs at Brown to be named Walter Camp's All-American team. So he did have a few other accolades as actual players. After serving in World War I, he joined the Akron Pros of the American Football League, which was before the NFL, and that became the NFL a little later, which he was still playing. At the time when it shifted from the American Professional Football Association to the NFL, he was one of only 2 Black players in the new league. Mm-hmm. Fans taunted him. Obviously, we've heard that before as we talk about a lot of the diverse players on here, right? Hurled racial slurs at him. And basically what he was quoted saying, I didn't get mad at them. I wanted to fight them. I would just look at them and grin, and in the next minute, run for an 80-yard touchdown, right? So he took that anger, right? That's what I like about sports. I like about sports is that you can channel that and just use it to... Yeah, so one of my favorite parts about sports is that you could channel that negativity and turn it to something positive and use it to, shut people up. In 1921, he earned another distinction at becoming the first African-American head coach in the NFL history when he was named the Pros co-coach of the team. So that's kind of where that started. So that's how he became the first Black coach of the NFL. Basically, also as he played football, they're saying he was actually really elusive. He was really fantastic. During his pro football career, he had a 2-time All-American. He played 2-time All-American, coached 4 different NFL teams. The Milwaukee Badgers, the Hammond Pros, right? These are all teams that really we kind of forgot about it because these are like the real kind of the chunk kind of when the NFL kind of started. So he played for he coached for a lot of these different teams. Fritz also spent time in 1923 and 1924 playing. So he wasn't just coaching, he was also playing at the same time. In 1928, he organized and coached an all-Black football team based out of Chicago called the Chicago Black Hawks. They were called the Chicago Black Hawks, like separated. And so that was something really cool that I appreciated is learning about that. Pollar's Blackhawks played against white teams around Chicago, and they enjoyed success because he scheduled a lot of exhibition games against teams on the West Coast from 1929 until 1932 with his all-Black football team. But then the Great Depression happened, unfortunately, and so the team was disbanded, and unfortunately couldn't keep it up. But yeah, so he wasn't just the first Black NFL coach, but he was a lot of firsts, right? One of 2 Black players in the new NFL, and so also a Chicago native, so kind of cool to learn about people that kind of heard about but didn't even know he was from Chicago. So Fritz Pollard,
nice.
Thanks for kind of getting in there, right? Because someone has to knock down the door, right?
That's right.
Exactly. I remember reading this. Like I said, I was a young kid with the encyclopedia books and all that stuff. And I remember
his father was a famous boxer also at the time.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Fritz Pollard Sr. So
okay. I love that. And that was definitely, and because it was before what we know as segregation and Jim Crow. I mean,
right,
it was still going on and everything, but he was able to do a lot of that stuff and was known as one of the pioneers for the modern game. Like he was one of those guys. So I absolutely love that. Delilah, Wendy has a question. Who invented football back in the early days in 1923? I don't know. Who is it, Wendy?
I'm guessing Wendy has the answer, or she might not have asked that question. Yeah. Wendy, are you trying to say Wendy, who's one of the oldest franchises in the NFL? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, come on now. We'll get that.
If I'm not mistaken, though, Wendy, the Bears celebrated 100 years 2 years ago or a year ago, which would have made that 1920, honey. So wouldn't football? I'm just asking. I'm not trying to criticize, but wouldn't football have been invented before that?
Because it was the Chicago, wasn't the Chicago Cardinals or something?
Staley's, the Chicago Decatur, Chicago Staley's. Right.
The Green Bay Packers, were they the first team? Were they one of the first?
Well, they're one of the. They might be the first actual NFL team, right? And the Bears are right behind them.
Oh,
because that's the longest rivalry in football.
The first NFL team.
Well, that's what I said. I knew Wendy knew the answer because that's why she asked the question.
It was also always
she knew the answer.
Like we just learned from Fritz Pollard.
Right.
There were always professional football team, but not what we see today as the NFL. And if you guys remember, there were actually 2 rival football teams, even going into the 80s, that then kind of became one team. So you guys remember that.
George Halas, who owned the Bears and it was the coach player, was one of the initial people who started the NFL. So
yes, he was.
Not just your Green Bay Packers there, Wendy. Nice way to slip that in, though. Very good.
Don't forget that that Halas and Lombardi actually respected each other and had
they did. They had a great relationship with each other.
They actually got along and had a fantastic. They really wanted to build this, and they kind of built that out together. So let's not forget.
That's when men were men, buddy. And let me tell you,
forget where
we shook on it.
They actually got along.
That was my deal, baby.
They spit in their hand.
Yes.
Right.
Shook on it.
Right. What about your business, baby?
Yeah, they were like, let's get this done.
There were no contracts. There were handshake deals, and you upheld your end of the bargain, baby.
Right.
That's what I'm telling you.
Wendy, happy birthday. We let you come on the show, and we let you have your little
Packers moment. Right. We love you, Wendy.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching.
I love it.
Thank you, Delilah. Hey, wait, what about
Thank you, Delilah.
Because I taught her about not just that, but I just brought it up. The first Black coach,
I told you Wendy don't like me. Wendy's been hating on me since I made that comment about Green Bay like 10 weeks ago. Right? Like, she was mad about it. Wendy's still mad. She don't love me. No love for Nick, huh?
Stay tuned, Wendy. Like we had mentioned before, and thank you very much, Delilah. That was another installment.
Another great addition of the diversity. We love that, right?
Love it. But like we alluded to earlier, the NFL schedule is out, ladies and gentlemen.
No, schedule's out.
And we waited till Wednesday night. That's why we ended up doing Washington Football Weekly the day after. That's why we're doing this show now because of the fact the schedule is out. We now know the primetime game, the Sunday night game. We know who's Washington playing, who's Chicago playing, and all this. And it all starts with the season opener, the defending Super Bowl champion, the Tom Brady throw trophies from one boat to another, versus a very big surprise in my eyes. Nick, I'll come to you first. The Buccaneers are playing the Cowboys?
Why did they?
What kind of mess is this?
I don't know, man. The NFL, I guess, is trying to hype up Dallas again. That's always was back in the 70s and 80s, all you heard about was Dallas was America's team and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, though. This is opening night of the 2021 season. And you think the best team you're going to roll out there against Tampa Bay, who was returning all 22 starters from that Super Bowl team, is to roll out the Dallas Cowboys? And please excuse me, Janae Struther, while I dump on your Cowboys for a moment, because I don't understand this move at all. Yes, everybody can go, well, it's hype. It's Jerry Jones. It's Dak Prescott back. He's back from the injury. It's Ezekiel Elliott. It's CeeDee Lamb. It's the improved defense, yada, yada. Okay, yeah. On paper, sure. Does Dallas look better than last year? Absolutely. But that means nothing without execution, my friend. And I just think for an opening night game, for you to take the Super Bowl champs and put them against the Cowboys, there could have been so many other teams you could have slotted into. I mean, to me, like I said, I thought Buffalo would have been a great opponent
I think
for Tampa Bay in week one. You put the upstart Josh Allen and his renewed Buffalo Bills against the Super Bowl champs, or even Kansas City in a rematch. Like, don't they usually do that where they do the Super Bowl rematch to start the season?
That would be fun. That would have been fun. Yeah, that would have been
break
exciting.
From that tradition and come with the Cowboys of all. I mean,
it goes around Aaron Rodgers.
Who's doing Boodle? Because I can't see the.
Do you think Green Bay would have been a better game? I mean, do you think Green Bay would have been a great? I mean, Green Bay could have been a better game, but I'm just saying you could have done the NFC Championship rematch, right? No, I know.
Yeah.
But you don't know about Aaron Rodgers, but instead you're going to put Dallas. So all I'm saying is, and again, I know my opinion to some people will count for nothing, and that's fine. But I think this was a terrible choice to start the season with the Dallas Cowboys, and I will not come off of that. So take that.
At least against Tampa. Like, if you were going to play Dallas, like, I mean, you could have done Dallas and Washington. Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense that you're going to go against Dallas.
Like, even Dallas and the Eagles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this, come on.
It's just stupid. I don't know why.
Unless you're trying to start some kind of Tom Brady versus Dak Prescott kind of, I don't know what they're doing with this.
I wouldn't do that.
It makes no sense. No, it just makes no sense.
It doesn't. It's ridiculous. And
I would have never seen the Browns. For that, put Cleveland in this spot.
That would have been exciting.
Like, I would have enjoyed that a lot more than Dallas. That's for sure.
But that's the thing, though. There's so many teams that you could have filled in and said, "Yo, go with this team. Go with that team." Yeah. Why Dallas? Like, Dallas.
We will never know, Sean. We will never know. Now watch. Dallas will go around. Dallas will mess around and win the game. Watch. Because we're all dumping on it.
Right, because we're all dumping on them. And then David and Janae are going to be so excited if that happens, right? They'll be like, remember what you guys said?
Super Bowl Cowboys.
Remember when you said that Tampa Bay didn't deserve to play, Dallas didn't deserve to play? Well, look what happened. They won.
Right. So, hey, real quick, since Nate, you want to sit here and come comment, and I'm gonna come here and get give you smoke. Stop with the trophy. Stop with the trophy. My man wins 7 titles, so he can throw a trophy across from one boat to the other. And Delilah, I don't care about the physics. Tom Brady don't need to be throwing no daggone trophies from one boat to the other. I don't care how many wins you win. Get out of here, man. You know what? I hope the Cowboys win that game. Not really, but somewhat because of that daggone trophy. I'll bring you the smoke. Do not do that to me, man. Oh, my goodness gracious.
All right.
Way to go, Nate. You riled him up early. Way to go there.
Who's a thumbs down, though? Because all I see is Facebook users, unfortunately. I don't see names.
Right. So it's just, I think shout out to the people, Wendy and Nathan, who are definitely watching us. I think Nathan watching us from Facebook now. But to move on, the first Sunday night game, and coming to you, Delilah, is your very own Chicago Bears and the LA Rams. Now, this is an interesting pick for a Sunday night game, the first Sunday night game.
It really is. I was actually honestly, I was shocked. I was like, who? Like, okay. Like, even for me, I'm like, wait, what? Okay. Is it because is it because Stafford is there now? So we get to play Stafford again, but now he's on a new team? We've beaten Stafford before, by the way, but he was with Detroit. So, but I know, new team, you guys. So I don't know. I'm excited because we got all these primetime games, right? So it's kind of fun, it's like, all right, cool, we got a Sunday night spot. But I think everybody's waiting to see what the call will be at quarterback. I think that's what everybody's waiting for. I personally think they're gonna start Andy. Like, does that mean he'll play the whole 4 quarters? I don't know, but I do. I've seen Mac. I have followed Nagy's plays for the past few years.
Yeah.
And I just feel like he's putting Andy in first. Does that mean he'll end the game? Does that mean he'll play the full game? I don't know. But I do think that our ginger quarterback will be starting against Stafford that game. I've seen Nagy make those decisions. If he all of a sudden, after 4 seasons of making decisions that people question, all of a sudden wakes up that Sunday morning and goes, you know what, Justin? You're starting today. I will be happy. I will be excited. I just don't see it based on history. That's all. It's just based on history, based on what I've seen. I just don't see him doing it.
Now, look, my only rebut to you, and I'm gonna come to you, Nick, is that like you guys have told me and drilled into my head since I've met you in October of a year ago. Well, I mean, I met you before that, but October of a year ago when we first had the talk and started the show, and you said Nagy is already on the hot seat. So now the seat is gone and he's just sitting on fire. So he's just like, I need to do anything to make this happen. So I can see Nick, and tell me if I'm wrong, Nick. I can see him saying, you know what? This is it. I might not be here next year. I might not be here in 3 weeks. Justin Fields, you're in.
Well,
for the fans.
Let me let me tell you something and see if this gets you excited. The headline reads, Dalton versus Stafford. Ooh, I'm
Really?
shaking with anticipation. Not really. That's the worst thing you could tell me.
Right.
Now, look, again, I know Matt Stafford is who he is. He's got a new team. He's with the Rams now. Great. You send Jared Goff over to Detroit. We're going to see him twice this year as well. But I'm just being honest. I know the Bears are my team, and everybody's, you can call me a homer if you want. But I don't think here's the thing. The Bears are in this spot for one reason alone, and that's Justin Fields. You know that whatever network wins the lottery and gets the first game that Justin Fields plays in, they're going to get a great audience. Because the Bears, despite what some of you may think, are a national team. The Bears have fans in a lot of the cities around the country. The Bears are really a big deal. They're one of the oldest franchises. They're always one of the top leaders in merchandise. Like everybody, there's a lot of Bears fans out there, and it's great that they're getting the exposure. I don't necessarily say we deserve this opening night game on a Sunday, but I know that Justin Fields is probably a big cause of it. And I'm telling you something. This is one of the things, and I don't know that it worries me. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, to be honest with you. And I don't know that I would be so upset if Justin Fields did start in week 1. After we had the rookie mini camps this past weekend, and Justin said in his press conference, I'm coming in here to compete. I'm coming in here to, to compete for the starting job. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go. I want to show what I can do. And that's what you want in a quarterback you draft at number 11 in the draft. If he would have said, nah, you know what? I'm content sitting for a year and learning. No, I don't want that. I want a guy who wants to come out and take control and take the lead and be like, no, get on my back. We're taking this ride. Let's do this. So I'm going to be real honest when I say I wouldn't be disappointed if Justin Fields started week 1, even if he is going up against Aaron Donald in that Rams defense. I mean, if the kid's ready to go and he's got a grasp of the system and he's ready to be competitive and he's ready to go out there and play, then let him play. You're paying him, he's on a rookie contract, but he's a number 11 pick. So that's millions of dollars you're paying this kid just to, to be your quarterback. And I know you signed Andy for 10, but if Andy gets beat out outright in the preseason, then he shouldn't start. Like, you've got Nick Foles sitting there too. If these guys are all competing for, you say the quarterback position is open and they're all competing. Well, if Justin Fields is competing and he's the better choice, then that's who you go with, regardless if he's a rookie or not.
Yeah. I mean, from what I read from what the Bears released right now, obviously they're not in the preseason yet, is it's still listed the way it looks, right? The way we see it. Andy, Nick.
Right. Justin. Right.
Now, does that mean that'll change? Will someone move up? It'll be exciting to see.
Right.
Yeah.
And I agree about Tariq. Yeah. The issue is that Tariq got hurt. I saw that comment is that he got hurt and he wasn't able to play last season.
Right. I was going to say Tariq didn't play last season.
So he has
this year. We'll see.
We'll see. And hopefully he could get that speed back. He's a little guy. I always liked how fast the little guy could make it up, but got to see what happens. He was hurt and so he didn't get to play.
And the thing with Tariq Cohen too is you got to understand that he's an undersized guy. And so you have to use him in certain situations.
Correct.
Sometimes you got to roll him out. You got to pitch him the ball. You can't just let him run north and south and think he's going to run somebody over, because he's not.
He's not. No.
And that's the thing with Tariq. I like Tariq Cohen as well, but there's a reason they use him the way that they do. He catches passes out of the backfield. He gets sweeps. He gets this. There's a reason why that happens. So, given that we signed Williams and we have, David Montgomery back there, Tariq could be more used as trying to get a first down. He's a third down guy. We need 3 yards, things like that. Pass out of the backfield, short slant, whatever. So Tariq may get opportunities, but he's definitely going to have to make the most of them if he wants that playing time. Because we have some other backs in the backfield that are established and that are, just bigger guys and can do more of that north-south running that you need sometimes.
Yeah, but exciting stuff. So we'll see what happens. Lots of stuff.
It should be interesting, but I mean, we bring up Tariq Cohen, who's a speedy, electrifying back. We bring up Justin Fields, who obviously is a solid quarterback, or at least in his college career.
Yeah, college career.
He brings excitement, and Chicago is a place where they really their fans are hungry. You guys know this very much, and the times that I've come to Chicago. Shout out to Christina Hughes, my fiance's sister, diehard Cubs fan, diehard Bears fan. And these guys, you guys are hungry. You guys want that. And and with that pick you made, you got Pace and Nagy on the hot seat, and they brought you back to Thanksgiving. And you're playing Detroit, a new game against the Lions to win. Right. So, and among other games, that's the noon game. The Raiders Cowboys played the 4:00 game, and the night game is the Bills and the Saints. So, Delilah, you guys are back in the spot, back in the limelight, back on, Thanksgiving Day against the Lions, who we all know. I'm not going to sit there and say it's a win. Look, I'm not going to say it's a win, but wink. You know what I mean? But I know my fiance will be very excited about that game. But what games are you excited for on this day? You know what I mean? I mean, your game obviously, but the other 2 games are pretty decent looking games.
I'm excited about the first game and then the last game. Sorry, Raiders and Cowboys. I don't know.
Don't care about Dallas.
It's not Dallas. I just don't know. Raiders? Is that what we went with?
A lot of question marks there too. Right. A lot of question marks.
I don't know. I think that's what it is. It's Raiders. I mean, I remember when it was when you guys had, your R word name, Cowboys. An homage to a really awful game we used to play at kids, which I'm glad we shouldn't play anymore. But I feel like, again, I agree with Nick. There's certain, I don't know what they were thinking with some of these. I know that they had to now rethink the season, right? Now it's 17 games, right? But I don't know what they've decided with this, that middle afternoon game. I don't know if the Cowboys and Raiders was a good idea. I know Cowboys play every Thanksgiving, I know that, but maybe a different opponent. I just don't. Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to watch a Cowboys and Raiders game? Does that sound exciting?
I'll be eating around 3:00 when that game starts. Don't worry.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I'll be grabbing some turkey about that time. Thanks.
Besides Raiders fans and Dallas fans, how many people are tuning in for this game? That's what I mean. I feel like they could have chosen a better opponent.
You could have interchanged both of those. You could have had the Raiders playing the Bills and the Saints playing the Cowboys. That would
have been way more. Yes, Saints and Cowboys would have been a lot better. That would have been
at least it had playoff implications and stuff like that. Because those other games are what is this? And Nick, I mean, and to your point, Delilah, Nick, I'm gonna come to you. To your point, Delilah, Washington played Dallas last year, and that made my whole Thanksgiving day. That was a great game. It was amazing. In Jerry's world, we did it. But I mean, outside of fanhood, Nick, you have your Bears, and against the Detroit Lions, the Midwest type game. Yeah. But then it's just what else do you? It's lackluster. It's just not. It's underwhelming the rest of the games of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, and again, but remember, this is, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but obviously, with Thanksgiving, you're into week 12, 13, or 14, whatever it is. Right. So you're deeper into the season now. So some of the, depending on how these teams do, these could either be really horrible games.
I mean, that's true.
But Bills Saints should be a good game regardless.
Yeah, that one.
Because I always feel I think that will probably be the best game of the day. But again, you never know. And again, yeah, as a fan, of course, I like to see my Bears back on Thanksgiving so I can enjoy my turkey, have my day off, and watch the Bears play. Hopefully, we'll beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, and everybody will be happy.
We don't eat that early at our house, but I'll be watching.
That's what I'm saying. We eat about 2 o'clock, so it may be, going into the second game, I'll already be full. We'll see.
Right.
Hopefully. But no, I think Bills Saints should be probably the game of the day here. And again, it is the primetime game for that slot.
Right.
It'll be the 7 o'clock, 7:30 game, whatever it is. So that's fine. I mean, a lot of people just like to be at home on Thanksgiving watching football, eating their turkey.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so, and so again, the Raiders fans will be happy, Cowboys fans will be happy, Bears, Lions fans, Bills, Saints fans, everybody will get their fill of football and turkey that day, and then all will be good with the world and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Right. As far as for competitiveness we'll have to see how that goes. But I do think Bills Saints will be the game of the day.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that middle game was like, I don't know. But
somebody's got to play somebody, right? It's always
I know. I mean, someone said, as much as I can't stand Cowgirls fans, I'm actually looking forward to that game. So someone is looking forward to the Raiders versus Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, that's Nathan on there watching the game. Shout out to you, buddy. Yeah, that's Nate watching the game. So,
calling them Cowgirls. Look at that.
Oh yeah. He doesn't like them. He doesn't like them. And
Nate, did you find Bucky Brooks yet? Did you give him a good talking to? Did you? Just wondering. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. And Nathan will be doing a Raven.
Inside joke.
Raven is doing Nathan's going to be doing a Ravens special where he talks about the Ravens schedule this later on this evening, I believe. Okay. So the smoke might need to come.
Just get ready for that Bears whooping in whatever week that is, my friend.
Right.
We're coming for you. Don't worry about it.
Don't start, LOL.
The smoke is getting smoky in here, baby. It's getting smoky, baby.
You don't want your Ravens to lose to our newly revamped offense with Justin Fields and the defense.
Yeah, newly revamped Justin Fields. That's the newly.
There you go. All right.
We have a
mobile quarterback now. How about that? Look at that.
Hey, there you go. Hey,
possibly.
Maybe Bucky Brooks will have something to say about him. But hey,
that's right.
Moving on. Moving on. Now we talked about the Thanksgiving Day games and how they are like, I can take them or leave them. Then you go to the Christmas Day games, and I want to watch both of these.
I do want to watch both of those. See, those are exciting. Yeah,
right. Those are exciting.
Right. I mean, Delilah, like you said, Arizona has been making a lot of moves in the offseason. Indianapolis has not been quiet. You got Wentz, you know what I'm saying? You got them boys over there. Arizona, you got J.J. Watt. You got A.J. Green over there with DeAndre Hopkins. You got teams. These guys are ready to go. So I love this. And Cleveland, we all know about Cleveland. They're upstart. Green Bay, it all depends on Mr. Rodgers.
If Rodgers is there, right?
Right. But these are games I want to see, Delilah. So, like, how do you feel about that?
Well, this is also later in the season, like we were saying. So at this point, we are already going to know who's, like, playoff contention or at least, possibly, right, close to. By this point, that's when it's really going to be either exciting or sad for one of these teams, depending on where they're at, right? By this point, will Indianapolis make that they did last season, right? They went really far last season. Will they go? Will this be their year where they go further? Arizona, are they going to be at this point at the top? Did they topple Seattle at this point, right? Are they going to be at the top of the NFC? You know what I mean? So, I feel like they're going to be fun games anyway, but it definitely is going to hype it up more depending where they're at, right? Where each of these teams are by Christmas Day, right? Are they going to be having a losing record, or are they going to be having a winning record, or just kind of in the middle, right? So I think that's also going to count for how excited some people are with these two games, is depending where these teams are by Christmas.
Right. And and Nick, because like Delilah just mentioned, suddenly Arizona, Cleveland, some of these teams might be already locked up their playoff position.
Right.
They might, be benching or sitting some players. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. Sorry.
What were you going to say? I was going to say all four of these teams are potential playoff contenders. 3 out of the 4 made it, and Arizona was very close to making it. They were, 1-1 with 2 guys. So, this could be interesting.
Well, I will say this, and if I had to bet my money on one of these four teams already having either clinched a playoff spot or a game away from it, I would go with the Cleveland Browns in this spot. And I'm telling you, they showed flashes last year. I mean, they obviously, they were really good. Baker's got them playing much better. They have winning records now every year. And I'm telling you, look out for Cleveland in the AFC this year.
Yes.
I really think that they're going to make a serious run. And
AFC Championship, baby.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's very possible. Again, I like Buffalo as well because I'm telling you, I said this. If you can go back, I don't know, maybe 6-7 weeks back,
Right.
I mentioned that I thought Kansas City would not repeat as AFC champions and not get back to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to hold to that. I think teams have figured out how you can stop. You look at what Tampa did on how to stop Patrick Mahomes. These teams' defenses are much better. Even Indianapolis has improved. So you might see good things out of them coming out of the AFC in their playoff run. I just think, I'm excited to see that because I want to see new teams in the AFC.
I know, me too.
In the playoffs. I'm glad. I'm tired of the Patriots. I'm starting to wear a little thin with the Chiefs. I'm not going to lie. So I want to see some new. I want to see these new guys. I want to see Buffalo, Cleveland. I want to see Indianapolis, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Buffalo, whatever it is. I just want to see some new teams in the AFC title picture, and let's get some fresh matchups in the Super Bowl here, my friends, and let's let's see some good football. That's above all else. But yeah, I would go with Cleveland out of these four teams to say that by this Christmas Day that they've either clinched a playoff spot or they're one win away or whatever.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Now, moving on, we talked about Christmas. We talked about Thanksgiving, the season opener. Monday night is one of the biggest nights of the year. It is actually one of the nights that the three of us, actually sat down and drew out this show in October. Bears playing the Vikings. For Daryl Patterson, return a punt or a kickoff.
101 yards.
That's where Norm's.
Yes.
Norm said you guys are going 5-11. Shout out to Norm. Happy birthday.
Jinx the hell out of us.
Happy birthday, Norm. 5-11.
Happy birthday. But I was like,
Norm, we should have went 5-11, but yeah,
right.
8-8.
So in this, we see, and I just spotlighted a couple of these matchups. Week 3, you got the Cowboys and Philly. You guys come in at week 9 and play Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I don't feel good about this next one. Week 12, we play Seattle. Washington is 2-17 in primetime Monday night games. So I am not. Oh, I know. Oh, hold up. Lions,
here she comes.
I know you're going to talk about choking. Wow. Not even going to go there. I know who I'm voting for on Thanksgiving. Let's go. Let's go Bears. Let's go Bears.
Go Bears.
Week 13. Wow. Week 13, Patriots play Buffalo, and week 17 is a rematch of the wild card game, Steelers versus Browns. I am loving it. And this is just a couple that I pulled out. Every one of these Monday night games is pretty sweet. I'm excited about it. But I with you guys here, I have to look at week 9. Nick, I'll start with you. You Steelers, Chicago. Oof.
Well, you would think that I would be maybe a little bit more excited for this game. And I'll tell you what, if Justin Fields is playing in this game, I am more excited for it.
Right.
Because I want to see him pick apart that Pittsburgh defense. I think I would love that. Again, I don't know that, Andy Dalton can pick them apart. Andy Dalton would be able to beat Pittsburgh. He's a seasoned veteran quarterback, of course. But I would love to see by week 9, if we do the Justin Fields experiment, that by week 9 he's rearing. I mean, he's rearing in the offense. He's really leading the team. He's really leading the charge. And again, Pittsburgh still has some weapons. You drafted Najee Harris. You got the rookie running back there. You still got Big Ben, who still has a live arm. Again, personally, not the biggest Big Ben fan, and that's fine. But Pittsburgh, I totally respect Mike Tomlin and their team. Yeah. Their rich history, and he always has his guys ready to play. Yeah, so it'll be a tough game on Monday night there. But
it is, and we're playing there. So
right, that's what I'm saying. We're playing in Heinz Field there in Pittsburgh. So it'll be a tough game, but I could see my Bears
pulling it out.
Maybe. I see. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, Nate thinks we could probably beat Pittsburgh. I hope so. It'll be fun.
He believes it. Oh, Nick, you froze up for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I think somebody's
But
trying to play with something.
I hope we beat Pittsburgh. It'll be exciting, especially a Monday Night Football game. I don't think we're 2-17, but we haven't won that many Monday Night Football games either. So
yeah,
I just hold on to the one in 85 when McMahon, or in 85 when McMahon came off the bench. We were losing to Minnesota by 3 scores, and McMahon brought us back. Like, I hold on to that Monday night memory, so I always have that one.
Well, remember, Ditka and McMahon were going back and forth. Ditka wasn't going to start him because didn't he miss practice or something like that?
He wasn't going to play him at all, and then he realized,
he
we're down 3 scores. We better put him in, and sure enough, Jim won the game for us. That's right, baby.
He had to eat that, he had to swallow his pride to be like, go ahead.
Ditka had to eat that one, baby.
Yep. So I mean, these are some fun. See, this week 3, that's what I was talking about, that opening Thursday. So I'm not saying that Dallas should have opened the football season. I'm just saying, see, the week 3 game, I think would have been a better Thursday opening game. But hey, that's okay. At least the Cowboys
at least it's division rivals. It's you're playing for something. Like Sean is going to, by week 3, Sean could already be 1-2, 0-3, or 3-0. Who knows?
Right?
The Cowboys Eagles beating on each other could benefit Sean's Washington football team.
Yeah,
so
it'll be fun.
That's how we feel right now, Nick. That's how we feel.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's how we feel.
Hey, we could be winning.
You might as well just said Tom Brady threw a trophy. That's how we're playing right now.
Listen,
the season, Nick.
When you return 22 starters from your Super Bowl team, I'm telling you got to be the favorite. I'm just saying.
The Monday Night Football game lineups, I gotta give them. These are exciting. These are fun. All of these are really. I'm looking forward to the Cowboys and Eagles. Looking forward, obviously, my Bears. Hopefully, they could pull that win out.
Patriots Bills should be a good one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially if Mac Jones is playing in Week 13 against Josh Allen.
And Steelers got
Mac Jones out of Alabama.
Steelers again. I want to see the Browns. I want to see Baker go out there and beat Ben. Like, it'll be great.
Again, that'd be lovely.
Well, I think that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is you want to see Baker Mayfield. I think because honestly, I don't hate Cleveland, and I know they're one of those underdog teams you kind of root for and go, everybody dumps on Baker, and it's like, I understand the quarterback position is important, but you got to put a team around this guy, and they finally now I think are getting the team that can put it all together. As long as Baker can continue to improve and continue to play and manage the game and let the defense do its thing and the offense does its thing, I'm telling you, I'm really looking forward to watching Cleveland play this year. And as I was telling Delilah, Sean, I think you were off for a moment. I'm hoping that I'm going to be at that game week 3 when our Chicago Bears play Cleveland in Cleveland on that third week of the season on Sunday. So
we have to do a prediction.
I'm hoping to be live in attendance that day to watch my Bears beat the Browns. So we'll see.
That would be lovely. That would actually be lovely.
You want us to make a prediction this far out? I think that Nate said that we have to do a prediction for each team.
Prediction for which game? Fine. Real quick. Week 3, Cowboys Eagles. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Week 9, Bears Steelers. I'll go with the Bears. Week 12, I'm going to take Seattle over Washington. Sorry, Sean. Yep. Week 13, I'm going to take Bills over Patriots. And week 17, I would take the Browns, and week 17 over the Steelers. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
I agree with all of those except week 3. I'm taking Eagles in that game.
You're gonna take Jalen Hurts and Devonta, or what's his name? Penei Sewell. You're gonna take them both.
I'm rooting. Yes, let's go.
And ride them to the game with the.
Let's go, Birds.
Only Cowboys, right? Fly.
Oh wait, who's playing the Bird Gauntlet? We didn't go over that, right? There's one team. There's one team they call it. Isn't there a football team? I forgot who it was. They call it the Bird Gauntlet. They play all 5 of the Bird teams. I forgot who it was, but it's okay. I forgot who it was.
Again,
I think it's Minnesota.
Joe Flacco.
I think it's Minnesota. I think Minnesota is the one.
That's craziness.
They're playing all the Bird teams.
Oh, really? That's like the Seahawks, the Eagles, I think so. I think it's Cardinals,
Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
my friend.
Do we know the London game? Do you guys know the London game? I think it's
Jacksonville's playing somebody, which I think Jacksonville's actually building up a fan base in London, aren't they? Like people actually root for the Jaguars when they go out there.
London is
got
really
a fan base out here.
Yeah, London is very interesting.
Unless you live in Jacksonville.
Right.
I mean, it was
it's Tim Tebow country.
Yeah.
Remember, he played at Florida. So Jacksonville, he's a hero. They love Tim Tebow down there.
Could potentially work. Everything about that move could work with the area, with the coach, with the timing.
It could.
Exactly.
Played out.
I think it's a publicity stunt, but we'll see.
But to segue from what we were just talking about, with the Browns. And what I wanted to mention earlier is they did have 7 or 8 years, if not 10, of like top 5 picks. So I mean, that's how you got a Myles Garrett. That's how you got a Baker Mayfield, all this stuff. And they're ripe right now. They are ready to go, and they're going up against a team. They're going up against the team, and the first time this has happened in a long time. The first time this has happened where in a long time where a team has played the same team back-to-back weeks. And I think they're going to get 2 W's in a row. Nathan, you might not like it. Ravens will be losing twice back-to-back to the AFC divisional, AFC championship bound Cleveland Browns.
He called you out, Nathan.
Tom Brady, we can go there, bruh. For Nick, man, this is crazy, though. Back-to-back games.
Yeah, you don't really see that too often where you play the same team back-to-back in, home and home series. I mean, you see it all the time in basketball. You don't see it in football. But you know what? I'll tell you what, though, man. Again, and I'm all for Cleveland. I totally am. Don't get me wrong. But unlike Bucky Brooks, I like Lamar Jackson, and I'm hoping that he has a great year there in Baltimore. I like Rashad Bateman, who obviously they picked up as a receiver.
Yeah.
So I like the Ravens. These are going to be tough games.
And they are tough.
I do think. And here's the thing. Here's the important thing, though. It's going to be very hard, I think, for either team to sweep this series playing back-to-back home games because you're easily able to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Because you just played them the week before, so the next week you know a lot, you've seen a lot. You're easily it's easier to make the adjustments for the team you're playing next because you're playing the same team. So I honestly think it's going to be difficult. I say they split this series. I say the home team wins their respective games. And this series goes 1-1 this year. That's my prediction. So
I was gonna say I think they split it as well. Like I don't know if they'll do it at each respective home, but I do think they'll split the wins. I don't think it'll be a sweep. They're both really
either
tough
way.
teams.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, they're both tough teams, and I just don't. Yeah.
And apparently Nate is guaranteeing them both making the playoffs. So there we go.
Right.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. But shout out to Delilah. We found out 2 matches that are taking place in London in October with the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Jets on Sunday the 10th, and Jacksonville taking on Miami on the 17th. So I love that they do that. Thank you very much, Delilah. I love that they do that because it is bringing it abroad. And like you said, I've never been to an overseas game, much less overseas myself, but if you look at those stadiums, there's fans of everybody there.
They're huge stadiums, right?
We cannot even compete in our stadium, and that is crazy.
I look forward to that Miami Jacksonville game. You got a couple of college rematches there, do you not? You got Tua versus Trevor Lawrence over there with Travis Etienne in the backfield. And Tua with his guy and his receiver. So,
so it's going to be
the makings of a good little rematch here, my friend.
It'll be fun. Yeah, so
it'll be a fun game to watch for sure.
So the Falcons and the Jets got the first game, and then we're going to see we'll
call that one Kyle Pitts versus Zach Wilson.
The 2 Florida teams. Yeah, the 2 Florida teams will be playing in London, and cool. Hey, shout out to Madden for actually making people overseas our version of football, because we're the only people who call it that here.
Football, right?
We're the only ones who call it soccer.
Football is soccer, right?
We're the only ones who call it soccer here.
Football, right? We call it soccer here in America. They call it football.
Everywhere else.
Right.
So that's why they call it American football. If you notice,
correct. I know.
When they talk about the overseas markets, it's American football.
They have to, because then people are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
There's a soccer game. Soccer game here. What happened?
Yeah. So this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, absolutely love that, and I love that we're spreading it overseas, doing that. And like you said, shout out to Madden.
It was Madden. Like people started playing it. Like
everybody's playing that game. I'm telling you.
Oh, here's the Bird Gauntlet. It's actually the Detroit Lions.
The Lions got the gauntlet.
They are going to play all of the Bird teams.
Oh, Detroit!
How many of those will they win? I don't know. I hope.
Wow. Well, let's
go
hope.
Detroit. The Dirty Birds are hopefully their Detroit Lions beat everybody.
So we have to move on to Sunday night, because the Sunday night matchups are equally as entertaining this year. And we're going to start with week 4 in the matchup, probably the matchup of the year, the matchup everybody is talking about, what Bill Belichick has been building his army for. Tom Brady. I'm just not going to say the Bucs and the Patriots. We're just going to say Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick. Nick, this is what everybody's waiting for. Sunday night football, prime time game. Nothing else will matter that day. So how do you feel about this? Who do you think's going to win this game? Like, did Tom Brady and Bill Belichick fight in the middle of the, with Robert Kraft as a special guest referee?
That would be hilarious. That would be great.
Shout out to the WWE. Tonight is WrestleMania Backlash. We aren't missing it, so we can do this show for you, but we will catch the replays. Yes, that's why I had to start with the 5 times.
Booker T, that's right.
Can you dig it, sucker?
All right, well, this is probably going to be an unpopular prediction. I'm betting on Bill Belichick and the Patriots here in week 4 against the Buccaneers. I'm telling you, Bill Belichick is a mad genius. Yes, I understand that Tom Brady won without him last year, but Tom put himself in a great situation with a good team, and he led that team to the Super Bowl, and they won. Kudos to him. That's a fantastic thing. Now you're back in Belichick's yard. This guy went in the offseason and spent the money he had and picked up pieces to make his offense better. And remember, you're getting back those 8 defensive starters that sat out last year because of COVID. So your defense has improved. You've improved the offense. You added 2 tight ends, Hunter Henry, and I don't know why the other guy escapes me right this moment. What's his name? Jonnu Smith. Yeah. So you're going to prepare. That's to help Cam Newton in the running game. That's also going to help Mac Jones when he gets in there. And I'm looking at this week 4. I mean, it would be a total Belichick move to put in Mac Jones in week 4 by that time to face Tom Brady and the Patriots and upstage him with letting his rookie quarterback beat Tampa Bay. So this is a total Belichick move in my estimation. So I'm looking for a Mac Jones start here and the Patriots victory in week 4. I'm calling it now.
It's gonna be fun. I guess when you come back on the air with Janae, we'll see what you guys decide. But that's gonna be something. That's gonna be it. Now that's a good Sunday night football to kick off with. Exactly. Like that's what you want to see. Like who will win, Tom or Bill? I think it's gonna be tough though. Like I don't. People do know. Now I gotta say, even though like we know he won a Super Bowl, but Tom Brady does lose regular season games, right? Not many of them, but he does. So it's not like he hasn't lost, right? He lost to the Bears famously last season because he forgot there was a 4th down.
That's still funny, by the way. I'm sorry.
But I think like it's gonna be interesting, and I want him to start Mac Jones just to see if that'll rattle, like Tom Brady. Like, wait a minute, you're putting my replacement in there, right? So I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I still give the edge to the Bucs, but I want the Patriots to win because it'll be a bruise to Tom Brady's ego. Because like we've said here multiple times, none of us are Tom Brady fans. We just understand football.
Right. Respect the hell of him, but I'm not a fan. So yeah, I can.
So basically, like if the Patriots win, I won't be mad. I'll be like, "Go Patriots!" Even though I don't like that team either. But
I'm a Patriots fan. Whatever.
I can care less. I mean, basically, everybody's been hyping this game for several years. That's why I'm interested in it. Right. But in all honesty, I'm going to be focused on whoever we play that week. So
exactly.
I think we go to Atlanta that week. So yeah, I was watching that game, But now the other games on here, and that very next week is Delilah, one of the games that you were talking about that could have been potentially the first game, the Bills and the Chiefs.
I think the Bills got this. I really do. I think that Josh Allen was going to come in here. I see a week 5 win for the Bills. I think that win goes to the Bills. I mean, obviously things happen in football, but I think I will give that to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, week 5. Let's go. And now week 14. And again, this game is predicated on if Aaron Rodgers is still on the team.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? So Bears, Packers, and a obvious game that's going to have playoff implications. Hopefully, both teams.
We hope.
Are we playing at home or are we playing in Lambeau?
I think you're playing. Let me check that one. I think you're playing in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think 14 is Green Bay. We play them earlier in the season here at home, I believe. I believe 14 is in Green Bay.
So what are you thinking, Nick?
I'm thinking. I hope this has playoff implications because otherwise this game will mean jack crap.
I know,
So
it really will.
Because it'll just be another. Here's Chicago, Green Bay, right? It'll just be another. It's Chicago versus Green Bay game for the 200th time. But I'm hoping this game does have some sort of playoff implication, meaning that I hope the Bears are in the hunt. I hope Green Bay is still in the hunt because I'd like to beat Green Bay to win this division. I'm not going to lie. And I think that's what we have to do for us to really take over this division and try to reestablish some sort of dominance, whatever you want to call it, on the NFC North. It starts with going through Green Bay because they've won the title. They won the conference or the division how many times in the last 10 years? Right. So we need to get over the hump with beating Green Bay, and this could be a great spot if we really are in that position. I'm hoping we are.
Especially
and of course, I will be rooting for a Bears victory up in Lambeau Field. Yes.
In Lambeau, in the snow,
Wendy.
Most likely.
Yeah. I will still buy you that Bears jersey if you want, Wendy. Come and see me.
It didn't snow, and Tom Brady was like, "I got this."
Let it snow.
Right.
But anyway,
listen,
remember it's climate change, so will there be snow? Maybe not.
Sorry, he played in Boston where the snows all the time. Tom Brady was used to that weather.
I joked about that. No worries. I too. Anyway, but no, depending where we're at, I have to because we're playing in Lambeau. Even though I hate to do this, I'm gonna give the edge to the Packers.
Sure, I know.
Yeah.
We know.
It really is hard. It's not impossible. People have gone in and won in Lambeau, but it is difficult.
It is difficult in December. That's true.
So, just in general too, it's just one of those places.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
But yeah. So I'm going to give to the edge to the Packers, but I want the Bears to win, obviously. But I'm going to give the edge to the Packers. Week 14. Week 16, you gotta be excited. Come on, Sean, talk to us about week 16.
You already know.
You should tell us. You should tell us now about week 16 and what that means to you.
Well, that's and thank you, Nick. I was about to do that.
Well, okay, you do that. You do that, bro.
This was what you got.
honestly, this game is the third game in a 5-game stretch that we end the season with that is all NFC East opponents.
There you go.
We come home, we play Dallas, then we go to Philly, then we have this game against Dallas in Jerry's World, then we come home to play Philly again, and then we end the season in New York. So we have a 5-game gauntlet at the very end that will literally make our division. If we 4-1, 5-0, we've got the division and we can go into the playoffs with it. So this game will be the third game in that mix. Honestly, I have us losing the first game to Dallas, going to Philly, going to Dallas, winning those two games, losing to Philly the next game at home, and then going to New York and winning it to go into the playoffs.
Oh, and then Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Look at you.
Even though the Giants, for as long as I can remember, have had our number. I got mad. I have all Giants fans in my family. I can't even go against it. Y'all did it. Y'all did what y'all do. I remember when after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I was like, yo, Tom Brady, he can't mess with anybody in NFC East. And my brother was like, he can't mess with the Eagles and the Giants. He crushes y'all. So shout out to them. But I'm this game is definitely one of those games where I'm like, it's just perfect. Prime time, Sunday night in Jerry's World. Hopefully we're going to be riding high. Hopefully Spitz will still be playing for us. He has this time in the season where he hits that wall and just dips. Yeah. So might be Heineke, might be Kyle Allen. I don't know who the heck is going to be. But this is that game that I am so looking forward to. I feel like this is a big game and we can get that W. So I'm excited about it, honestly. Right. And to kind of go, just to piggyback on that, Washington's schedule, that I told you about that 5-game gauntlet at the end of the year. That's crazy. We have to play the Chiefs this year. And matter of fact, I got the schedule right on my phone. We got to play Buffalo in Buffalo. Got to play Atlanta in Atlanta, two high-powered teams. We got the Chiefs at home. We got to go to Green Bay. We got to go. We're at home against Tampa. Got to go to Seattle, and then we got that 5-game. And we open up with the Chargers, that upstart Chargers team
Well, see, that's what happens when you win your division. You get a first place schedule.
Oh, right.
And so the fact that you guys won the NFC least last year, now you got the NFC worst schedule. So I take that.
It was true. And you know what? I actually think Sean Springer, hopefully that basketball player plays for y'all. Hey, Samus Reyes at tight end. Samus Reyes at tight end. I hope he catches touchdowns against your Ravens. I don't know we don't play this year. Don't start with me.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, Samus Reyes,
man,
do what you do. From what? He's from Chile, I think. He's from Chile. Yeah, so let's get it, man. I might have to get Delilah to do a little diversity with Delilah on Samus Reyes.
Well, I'll do it. I hype my Latinos out here too.
Right. Gotta hype the Latinos.
So honestly, with the way I'm looking at like maybe like a 10-7 or 11-6 year wild card playoff type deal. I think we could. I'm pretty realistic. Like I don't think we're gonna beat Buffalo. I don't think we're gonna beat the Chiefs. I think we can beat Tampa, but I don't think we're gonna beat Seattle. The Packers. It all depends on Aaron Rodgers. So there's some of these teams where I'm not gonna be out here like, oh, we're gonna do all this stuff. We're still upstart. We still got some things we got to work on. So I'm interested to see how we play out, how we end up doing. But I'm so excited for the season. Yeah, so very excited.
It's exciting. I want to enjoy the summer, so I don't want to think about fall too fast because, as you learned, Sean, you came and visited when it was supposed to be springtime, and you didn't get much spring except for one day. So, we have to appreciate the maybe week of summer that we get in Chicago.
Right. Our 1 week of summer is coming, and here we go.
Yeah, but I am excited, even if our season is also a crazy schedule too. So Washington, you're not the only ones.
So so what do you guys think of that, Delilah? What do you think of?
It is complete insanity. It is a home game and then an away game, literally the whole season. Like even when they come back from their bye week, it's Baltimore, then versus Baltimore, and then it's here, and then they're going to Arizona, and it's also where they're going to, like just the traveling to. It's not like it's the first game we know is LA, right? Then they gotta play Cincinnati. Then they play Cleveland, but then again, so at least Cincinnati is here, and we get to fly to Cleveland. That's not too bad. And Detroit, that's not too bad, right? Those are Midwest games, so that's not too much traveling, but it's the other stuff. Raiders, then all the way back, it's just, we got to go to Vegas in October. And then fly all the way back to play Green Bay. So it's a big one. And Washington, I predict 10 wins. Oh, okay. But yeah, so I don't know why they created our schedule this way. Like, I don't know why they literally one away, one home, one away, one home, one away, one home, one away, one home, one away. It's like through the whole, like, I don't get it. It's very bizarre. I don't know if they're punishing our owner for being the one owner to vote against the 17 days.
We're like, we'll show you, pal.
Right. And they're like, all right, you didn't want a 17 game. Here you go. This is
right.
It's an interesting schedule because you don't see that often where everybody is every week you're home and away, home and away, home and away, home and away. Sometimes you get 2 in a row, you get 2 on the road, then you get 2 home, or you get this and that.
So I have no idea.
Kind of a lot of new things with the 17 game schedule. That probably
Hold up, Nick. I just can't wait till November 21st when you guys crush the Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens. Exactly. There it is. Well, see, that's the thing. Rest of the year, that's the thing too.
That day. Let's go.
I mean, you look at who our non-division opponents are, like non-conference opponents.
We're going to play some teams.
We play the AFC, or we play the. In our own division, we play the NFC West. Yeah. We've got Seattle, the Rams, San Francisco, and why am I missing blanking on the other team?
We're playing.
Anyways, we play the NFC West. Rams. What I said, the Rams.
Arizona. We're playing Arizona.
The Cardinals, right? So those are 4 tough games right there. Then you pit us against the AFC North, where we take on Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, and the other NFC team in the North there. Which why am I drawing a blank all of a sudden? I think I'm tired. But anyways, you get the point. You get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah. I got you.
You get what I'm trying to say. So I mean, these are not easy games for the Bears either. It was written that they had the third toughest schedule in the NFL this year, and Nate put up a thing like, 10. He shows the Bears having 10 wins. I'll be extremely happy if we go 10-7. Honestly, right? Like I'm looking at 8-9, 9-8. To be honest with you, like. I know everybody's excited about Justin Fields, as am I.
We're thinking about reality.
Doesn't automatically mean that that's going to translate to 3 or 4 more wins on our season. And we somehow managed to luck into 8 wins last year, because honestly, we probably should have been a lot worse, and we played a lot worse than that 8-8 record. So we got a little lucky at the end. We won 3 pretty much meaningless games, and ended up backing into the playoffs when the Cardinals lost. So to me, I'm not expecting, 13-4 or 12-5. I mean, 10-7, I'd be happy with that.
Same.
Like I said, I'm going 8-9, 9-8 range, 9-8 probably, because I think we do have the ability and if Justin Fields can get on the field and play like he did in college, we'll probably win 1 or 2 games that we probably wouldn't have won with Andy Dalton. So I just think you have to keep that in mind. Again, I just want the Bears to improve. As long as they're better than they were last year and they're moving in the right direction, I will be extremely happy with that. We still have some young guys on offense. The defense is getting a little older, but we tried to circumvent that this year with adding a couple of younger guys as well. So I just think if we can just stay the course and just improve every year, in 2-3 years, I like the Bears' chances of being a serious contender and really being atop the NFC conference. So
we're going in the right trajectory.
8-9, 9-8, 10-7 would be phenomenal if that happened, but I don't see it being any better than that, honestly.
Right.
That's just
how I kind of feel the same way. Feel the same way, but I think you guys, like us, I think there's one thing that's stopping us, and we've not been silent about it. It's the front office. It's management. For you guys, it's Nagy and Pace. For us, it's Dan Snyder. I think until they get out, until they removed from office, essentially, things are not gonna be the same, because they're, at least in our case, his greed outweighs the actual progress of the team. You know what I mean? Unless he looks up to get some picks, or he just stands in the background like he's supposed to do, which Ron Rivera looks like he's been trying to get him to do, but he is Dan Snyder. And for you guys, it's like you've been saying, Delilah, you mentioned it earlier. I want to believe that things are different. You know what I mean? But I have the 4 or 5 years of Nagy and Pace doing this crap to us. So I'm not going to be naive and just say, things are all of a sudden going to change because you made one nice pick. Right. So
we'll see. It depends how they handle Justin Wright. All that goes. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Agreed.
So we shall definitely see. And we're coming towards the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. One last word. Yes, sir. We have one last thing that we have to say that's on our mind. Delilah, I'm going to start with you. One last word. Go.
Sure. One quick thing. I just it's not football, but I wanted to just give a shout out to the fact that Tony Kukoc is finally in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Million years later, he only helped us with championships.
Tony.
Number 2,
International Committee. All right.
Yeah, seriously. But also Kobe Bryant, got inducted post-mortem, but kudos to him. I just wanted to recognize, because even though we talk about football, I actually do like basketball a lot. So my Bulls didn't make it. Oh, but your Wizards did, damn it.
From the grave, we started from the bottom, now we're here.
Wow. And then just some, fun kind of basketball stuff. We'll see about football later in the season as we hop on and stuff.
Nick, what you got, man?
I have, let's see. It's technically 5 words for everyone. And that is first place Chicago White Sox. I'm happy to say that my White Sox have been playing well. We had swept Kansas City and Minnesota to start when we started playing our Central Division rivals, and then we split the 4 games we had with the Royals over the weekend. But we still sit atop first place in our division. We have one of the best records in baseball. The offense and run differential is number one. Our pitching has been spectacular, even out of the bullpen. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my Chicago White Sox, and so far so good. This is what I was hoping for this year, and hopefully this will continue throughout the summer, so that even when we're back on every week for our football roundtable, my White Sox will hopefully be making a playoff run as the season begins for football. So
yes,
a lot to look forward to this summer and fall. So that's my one last word for now. Go White Sox.
And guys, my one last word, I'm gonna hijack it just to say the one I love the most about these two guys is that they're not one trick ponies. Okay, it's not just one sport. And I'm somebody that's like, let's cover everything. These guys were hitting me up like, look, we can cover wrestling, we can cover baseball, we can do basketball. Like, it's nothing I ask these guys to do. Do they ever say, look, Sean, I'm tired. My life is busy. They're like, let's go. But when we can make time, we're going to do it. I love you guys for that. I so appreciate you guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I don't have anything on the baseball front. I have not been following my Orioles. I know, Nathan, you could chime in on that. But shout out to my man, Russell Westbrook, breaking the great Oscar Robertson's record, most triple-doubles. I think 182.
Yeah, he did.
Him and Bradley Beal single-handedly brought us into the playoffs. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah,
let's go.
One game is all it takes, right? The play-in is one game.
I'm telling you.
Hey, as long as you're in the door, baby.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So, it's definitely shout out to them doing that. But stay tuned with us. Like both of them alluded to, baseball season is here in full swing. Once the pennant race gets going, once we get into the summer, we can go to a lot more games. We're definitely going to be doing a Let's Talk Baseball where we're going to sit here and start cracking down on all these things. Otani for the Angels.
That guy, my God.
When the pitcher leads the league in home runs, that's
something. Cow. He is magic. He really is. Wow. Seriously, they just, kudos to them getting this kid.
Love that.
This guy,
so for my one last word, honestly, it's thank you guys, but I'm super excited about football. But now that we have this platform, we're covering everything. I'm super excited about anything. We went downstairs and we were grilling and we put on the video. It got a little hot in there and started firing up, so I had to turn off the video.
There you go. All right,
but hey, we are all about it. So I'm all for it. Nathan said my last word. There will be some teams trying to make the playoffs in the 17th game. That will be us. I firmly believe
that. Could be the Bears too, right? Could be the Bears as well.
Absolutely.
So shout that out. I'm with that. But hey, I am Sean Spencer. You can see right next to me the lovely
Delilah Crespo. Hey.
Yeah. My man over here. Not so much smoke. I can see a little bit. So
well, it's not so smoky today, but Nate behaved himself on the comments, so that was good. But Nick Rosario here. Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Let's go. And Nathan, shout out to Nathan. He's doing his Ravens video where he's going to go over all of their schedule and what he thinks. Check out Washington Football Weekly. It's on YouTube where we definitely went over Washington's schedule game by game. So definitely tune in. We'll be back for you next week. And Nick, if you don't mind, man, could you take us out with the Jerry Springer quote that you brought up some weeks ago?
It's something to live by. Be kind to yourselves and to each other. There you go.
Absolutely love it, buddy. Absolutely love it. Hey, guys, it's been nice. We'll see y'all next week, okay?
That's right. Take care.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Struther.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. New man losing so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.